Yo guys, how's it going? And welcome back today to a brand new video on the channel. Today I'm joined with Josh Daniels. Before we get into anything else, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself, how you got started into business and your current situation.
Okay, sounds good. So hi everyone, the following of Bradley Riley. My name is Joshua Daniel and I started doing YouTube. I started like really fitness related. I started doing everything about fitness, nutrition. And I wanted to build like a brand around fitness and nutrition, or like do online coaching and stuff like that. And the more I started getting into it, the more I started doing it, I realized that I actually liked building the brand and like creating like a presence on social media so much more than online coaching. And that was also because I noticed that people weren't as passionate about fitness as I was. And that was what I later came to realize was of a much deeper meaning, like because you weren't really satisfied with their own life, like they were busy and like peer pressure, work stress and stuff like that, fitness wasn't really their main priority. So I realized two things: that number one, I should go all in on social media marketing because that is something that I actually like doing, and number two, I really need to document how I'm trying to live my life and trying to like live life the way I want to live it on my own terms and show people that it is possible, that you can earn money doing what you love.
Yeah, definitely, man. And you've literally just got a client yourself, your first client, haven't you? Was it last week, was it?
Yeah, last week, yes.
Last week. And I know a lot of people are familiar with the way I get clients, and, you know, I do it a little bit differently, freelance. And, you know, there's most people cold call or go door to door. I'd like you to tell people actually how you got your first client, because it's completely different, not just how I do it, to how 90% of other people do it as well. So I think people will be intrigued to know, you didn't even pick up the phone, you didn't cold call, you didn't go door to door, any of that, did you?
Yeah, so I think like Gary Vaynerchuk always says, like self-awareness is key. And I'm not really good at sales. Like that is something that I'm really not good at. I'm trying to like improve with it. Like I'm reading a lot of sales books and stuff like that. But for now, like out of 10, my sales like skills like 2 out of 10. So I know that. So what I've done is, instead of me picking up a phone or me doing the cold calling or sending out like the free social media orders or anything like that, I actually looked into my own network and said to like as many people I could tell, I said, if you can get me a client or a project, like whether that's videography or just like a one-off social media project, I'll give you 10% commission. And if I do sign that client, or the client signs with my agency, then I'll give the person who got me that client 10% for every month that they stay with me. And that way I didn't need to do any of the cold calling. And it's so much easier for someone to ask someone in their own network to say like, oh, I know someone that is good at social media, shall I connect you to? Then that's easier to get a client than it is for me to say like, oh, listen, I'm good at social media, you should go with my agency.
It's like immediate social proof, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
they're telling them that you're good already, so you don't even have to convince them of that. It's like if they trust them. But yeah, man. And in regards to the network and who is the person that who is the person that landed your client? Was it a friend or someone you met through business, or who was it?
Yeah, it's actually another YouTuber from like the town where I live, Botchuni Jen, also known as BM Fitness on YouTube. I told him about Brandpreneur, that's my agency, like a little project that I've started. And I said, like, if you know anyone that can, you know, like be my first official client, because I've got like a few little like mock clients basically that I do work for, but at a really low rate, just to get like my social proof up. I said, if you can be the first person to get me, I'll give you 10%. And also, because I've done that, he's going to try and keep that client happy as well, because he knows that as long as that client stays with me, he's getting 10% every month.
Cool. And it's like a no-brainer for him, especially because he does the upfront cost once, and it's like completely passive income for him then, isn't it? Because, I mean, if it's a 1.5k a month client or whatever, that's 150 a month for something that did once.
Exactly.
So if you get that client for like over a year, what is that, like $2,000 or something for him in his pocket for a year?
Yep.
So, like, it's like a no-brainer, really. It's really good, but yeah, man, I think that's such an awesome way. I know a lot of people, like the way I do it's differently, but I know a lot of people think they have to pick up the phone. Like, rather than you just thinking, you know what, I'm not good at sales, I'm not going to pick up the phone, and then learning about sales and then going to get the client, you, like you said, you were self-aware and adjusted to that. So, yeah, man, I think that's awesome. But one thing I want to ask you as well is, obviously you've just landed your first client now. You said you've been doing, you know, some mock-up work and things like that. Is your life a lot different now that you're an entrepreneur than it was, say, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago?
Well, I think now I've got like so much more confidence in myself. Like, I've always wanted to like start my own company or do something for myself, and that was all because my granddad actually came from Liverpool to the Netherlands, and he started his own like entrepreneurial venture. He started his own recruitment agency, and that has always stuck with me. I think it's like in my genes to be like, entrepreneurial. Yeah. And but I was never like that. I was really always trying to blend in, be average. And I think that's because in the Netherlands, they've even got a saying for it. Like, the Netherlands is really about equality. And they also say, like, the biggest trees catch the most wind, which means, if you try and stand out, you'll have a hard time. So my granddad passed away last year, and that really I started like reflecting and assessing where I am, like, in my life right now. And I noticed that I wasn't really living life the way I wanted to live it. I really needed to start like doing stuff I wanted more than trying to fit in. And man. That sort of triggered it all, to be honest.
Yeah, and would you say when you were younger then that was there anything you did that stood out? Like when I was little, I used to sell chewing gums to my friends. Like it's not really like a business, but I've always been a little bit entrepreneurial. Like have you had anything like that growing up? Or?
Like at the time, I didn't even realise like what I was doing. I was just trying to let in like a little bit of money on the side. But looking back, I think like entrepreneurship has really been with me for a very long time without me even knowing it. So what I used to do is in secondary school, I used to buy the first version of the Apple headphones. I used to get them for really cheap in China, like get them shipped over. It took like 8 weeks to get here, but I only paid like, I think it was €2 per headphone, and then just sell them for €10 each.
10 years. So it's like the thing is although you're not making stacks of cash. Do you know what I mean? You're not got loads of money on your bed like Gary Vee, but it's still that entrepreneurial spark, isn't there? Like that's something that you had. But that's something we didn't touch on earlier. Josh is like, because when the first time we spoke together, I was like, right, I know you live in the Netherlands, but you sound very Liverpudlian. Like I was like, what's going on? But you were born in the Netherlands, right?
Yeah.
But your family are actually from Liverpool.
Yeah, so my mum and dad, my entire family is from Liverpool, and then my granddad came to the Netherlands to start his business, and he took my dad and my uncle with him, so his 2 sons, and when my mum was 18, she followed along and also moved to Holland, and then there I came.
There you come along, yeah. And would you say, I get a lot of questions, people asking me, I don't live in the UK, I don't live in the US, like, can I start an agency? I get a lot of questions like that. Would you say it's a negative living where you live, or actually a benefit because not as many people are doing it?
Yeah, I think at first it's negative because of the whole Dutch culture. The Dutch culture is really like, do as you're told, compromise, try and blend in, stuff like that. But I think nowadays what people aren't realising yet, but it is true, is no one's got that boundary anymore. Like no matter where you live, you can do what you want. You can start your own business. You can earn money from what you love. And I think people are slowly realising it. But like at the moment now in the Netherlands, people are still trying to stick in basically.
Yeah, well, we were speaking the other day, and you're big on that, aren't you? You're big on the fact that no matter what it is you do, whether you like horse racing, hockey, social media, like you can build a career, a business around that now. And
definitely.
Your personal brand is obviously, I'll link all of that below. So if you want to check out Josh, all his links will be in the description. But you also, your business is called Brandpreneur, isn't it? Right, and that for you, branding is such a big thing. Like from an outsider, the first time I saw you. The way that you come across on social media is fantastic. Like your presence is amazing. The way you brand yourself is amazing. And I just wondered if you had any tips for anyone, who's into something really obscure, but they want to make their hobby a full-time job. If you have any sort of personal branding tips, or how they can do that.
Well, obviously, the most obvious is quality. Like a lot of people, like say for example, you want to get big in the fitness industry, because that's just an easy example because that's where I started as well.
Yeah,
a lot of people do like the bathroom selfie, the really awkward selfie like that with the tricep and the back. I think just be confident in it and like get like really good photos, or get like a friend to take a good photo of you, and like focus on quality, and also the caption, like focus on quality, try and provide value, and that will sort of like trigger the following. That will start to get people to follow you, and like obviously consistency as well. But I think it's have confidence in yourself and just believe that you can do it in the long run if you keep it up, and if you like stick to it every single day, that confidence will also portray in your feed and in your photos, and even when you speak, if you're confident in yourself, it's so much easier to get your message across.
I mean, all it takes is one post to just go viral, or one video to go viral, and your whole career is set out. It's quite massive now. But completely just transitioning into something else. I know you're big into reading. I see all the time on your Instagram stories that you love reading. If you had one book recommendation, because I think it might be tomorrow's video, I've done my top 5.
Yeah.
What's been the book that's changed your life the most? What's your best book?
It's got to be The 4-Hour Workweek, to be honest, by Tim Ferriss.
Yeah.
I read that and it was such an eye-opener, because obviously I've always thought that I need to put a certain amount of time in to get money out. And Tim Ferriss made me realise that it's not necessarily the way to go. You don't have to actually do that. You can put certain systems and processes in place and automate or delegate certain processes of your business to make it much easier. So basically, you're not working in your business, you're working on your business.
Of course, man. Well, I'm big on that anyway. I'm huge on outsourcing, and it's not, like you said, it's not... I used to be the same, man. I used to be like, I've got to work... If I'm not working 18-hour days, I feel guilty because I'm not progressing, But you don't have to do that, man. You realise once you actually work on what's important and not what you feel like you have to do, your business starts to, increase to the next level. But yeah, man. And another question related to... Well, not related to that at all, actually, but what's your biggest goal for 2018?
My goal for 2018 is to get 5 big long-term clients from a social media agency, all on a retainer of at least $1,000 a month, and money-wise is so €50,000 in a year. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I also want to move out of my mum and dad's house. It's funny because you've seen it before as well. I've got it as my wallpaper. So 2018 goals, and one of the goals is be able to move out. And my mum seen it while she was hoovering in my room, and she was like, "Josh, what is this? Is there something you need to tell me?"
Yeah, man, it's got to be done though. You got to have that space so you can do your own thing, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome. The thing is though, you're setting these goals now. I know what you like. I know what's going to happen is come the end of the year, you're going to look back and be like, bro, I've absolutely smashed it. Why did I go so low? I know for a fact that's going to happen, because my goal was very, very similar to yours. Last year, when I first started my business, I was like, right, I want to earn £50,000 next year. And now that was for this year. So last year I was thinking in 2018, I'm going to earn 50 grand. And then come to it now, my goal was actually 250. Yeah. So I reckon by the time you get to the end of the year, you're going to look back and be like smash those goals 100%. Yeah. And if anything, that's undercutting them. I know you're going to get it.
Yeah, which is funny because now it seems so high, and I'm thinking how can I've worked it out how it's possible, but it's still just an idea. I really think I need to execute, and I'm already stressed out to see if I can actually get it. But
14 days into the year, stressed out. Yeah, you got it there, man. As long as you got to plan it, and if you know that the steps you can do are actionable, then just a case of executing on what's important, and then you'll be fine, man. Yeah. But to sort of round it off, one thing I want to ask you: if you have one tip for anyone who's wants to start their own business or get into social media marketing or personal branding, anything like that, what is your one tip that's all that you can give them to get started?
Yeah. Find someone who is just that little step further in the process than you, and ask for advice, whether that's coaching, or if he's got a course, buy the course, or just try and get in contact with that person. Because for so long, I was just trying to figure it out myself, spinning my wheels, putting in them 18-hour days where I'm just trying to figure it all out. And then in the end, I got so frustrated that I thought, you know what, I'm just going to just go all out and buy a course. And once I realised how easy it is to get you can literally buy someone's knowledge by buying this course or going on a coaching call. And that just changed everything for me. In less time, if I wouldn't have bought a course, for example, I bought Tai Lopez's social media marketing agency course. If I wouldn't have done that, I'll probably still be trying to figure it all out now.
Of course, man.
I'm already so much further now that I've actually bought something.
That's so true. You can literally buy success. It's you can cut the curve massively if you just ask for someone's help, and if that means pay for it, because in the long term it'll definitely help. But thank you so much for coming on the channel. If anyone wants to find out more about Josh, his channel's linked down below, so definitely go over and subscribe. I'll put his Instagram down there below. his stuff looks way better than mine, so you're definitely going to subscribe. Go and check him out, like I said, and make sure to subscribe if you're new to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Hey.